I've worked in public education for over 35 years. My concern is that I think that we need to do more to proactively prepare our children and youth to be financially literate, especially in light of the serious financial stresses many adults in our society face on a daily basis. My question is, do you think that financial literacy should be a standard part of the curriculum in our nation's schools? And if so, how early do you think it should begin? And what do you think some of the most important learning goals would be?
Well, certainly the earlier the better. I mean, habits are such a powerful force in everyone's life, and certainly good financial habits. I see it all the time. I get letters every day from people that have committed some kind of financial lunacy or another, but they didn't know it was lunacy, and they never, they didn't get taught that. Their parents didn't teach it to them, and digging yourself out of the holes that financial illiteracy can cause, you spend the rest of your lifetime doing it. So I'm very sympathetic to what you're talking about. We've done a little bit. I don't know whether you saw our Secret Millionaires Club exhibit in the exhibition hall. And you want to talk to people at a very young age. Charlie and I were lucky. I mean, we got it in our families, so that we were learning it at the dinner table before we knew what we were learning, and that happens in a lot of families, and in a lot of families it doesn't happen. And of course, you mentioned about childhood financial literacy. There's a big problem with adult financial literacy, and it's harder to be smarter or have better habits than your parents unless the schools intercede, or probably the schools are your best bet. But it can be done a lot can be done on television or through the internet. But it is really important to have good financial habits, and I think anything you can do very early through the school system, would certainly have my vote. Charlie?
Well, I'm not sure the schools are at fault. I would place most of the fault with the parents. I think the most powerful example is the behavior of the parent. And so if you're...
I agree with it. The most important thing is the parents, but not everybody gets the right parents.
Yeah, well, it's very hard to fix people who have the wrong parents.
Well, let's just say you had the job of fixing people that had the wrong parents. What would you do about it?
Well, let's suppose you had the job of living forever. What would you do about it? I mean, it gets to be so impractical. Who would ever believe that I would have any ability to fix all the people that have the wrong parents?
How about a few?
I don't think I'm good at that either. The only thing I've ever been slightly good at in my life is raising the top higher. It's just that they left the talent out of me. I don't scorn it. I think it's a noble work. I'm no good at it. I don't think you're so hot either.
If he hadn't been Republican, it'd have been stronger. Stop by our Secret Millionaires Club, though, and may get some ideas.
By the way, the main troubles with education in this field are probably not in the grade schools. They're probably in the colleges. There's a lot of asininity taught in the finance courses at the major universities, and even the departments of economics have much wrong with them. So if you really want to start fixing the world, you shouldn't assume that when it gets highfalutin, it's a lot better.
Well, there was certainly a period of at least 20 years, I would say, when I think the net utility of knowledge given to finance majors was negative in major universities. I think maybe it's getting better now, but it is.
Imagine that net utility was negative. It was pluperfect asinine.
Yeah.
We should use normal English.
I'm worried about what English you're going to use. I don't want to egg him on. Frankly, it was fascinating to me because here was something I understood. And to watch extraordinary universities that essentially were teaching people some very, very dumb things, and where even to obtain positions in the departments of those schools, you had to subscribe to this orthodoxy, which made no sense at all. And it got stronger and stronger, and then now it's changing to quite a degree. But it may have soured my feeling on higher education to an unwarranted degree, because that, it may have been particularly bad in the area that I was familiar with, but it was bad. Is my language okay, Charlie?
You would have liked academics better if you'd taken physics instead of finance.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't.